everyone, welcome back to another edition of Ask Ron. Ron, we've got about 6 questions this week, so I'll go ahead and get started. From Jeff Clayton, hello Ron, can a private lender loan me money to buy real estate from his 401k?
The answer is yes if he's in control of his 401k, and some people are. If it's sitting at his employer's control, then he probably can't. Now, please note that if you quit your job, you have the right to force your employer to move your portion of the 401k to your own self-directed IRA. So the answer is only if you're in control of it. So, but whoever's administering it, you should ask them that question.
Okay, very good. All right, Ron, our next question from Bruce Moore. This is about building the buyer's list, and we've actually had quite a bit of interest on this topic lately.
Okay.
So I'll get right to his question, and maybe you can address that. What is the best way to build a buyer's list when you have nothing to sell? Do you make them up and tell the buyers that one is gone?
No. You can use a generic ad, Bruce, and the ad goes something like, no bank qualifying, lease purchase, several houses to choose from, and your email address, your website, or your phone number, and then have them come there and give you a little bit of information on what they're looking for, in other words, your buyer's list sheet. And you can just tell them when to get there. Right now, we don't have any houses available. They're moving so fast, but please get on our list so that when we get them, you will be the first to be notified. And that's how you build the buyer's list. Of course, it's kind of nice when you have something for sale, but no, you don't have to sit around and wait on that. You want to keep those ads out, keep them running, and keep the buyer's list building. That also tells you where you want to go shopping for sellers. Depends on wherever your buyers want to buy. Okay.
Okay. All right. Next up from Gail M. I started a business a couple of years ago that was intended to invest in real estate in some way, shape, or form. Been paddling aimlessly while going to seminars, buying programs, etc. ever since. What is the best way to come up with a business plan? What type of professional do I hire to help me with this? Thank you, and I'm glad I found you.
I love this question, and I'm glad you found me too, but you're not going to like my answer. My business plan is very simple. It's the 5 steps. Locate prospects, pre-screen prospects, construct and present offers, follow up, and close quickly. You do not need a business plan. You need to get out there and do some business. First thing that I'd suggest you do is get a VA on your team, virtual assistant, to start calling for sale by owners for you and filling out our property information sheet. A few of those a week that creep through are going to be prospects. Now this is assuming that you know what a prospect looks like and what to do when they jump out at you. If you do not, then your first step is to get trained. And in fact, this is a good time to make sure that everybody understands that we've got I'm going to retape the AXE event on April the 14th and the 15th here in Jacksonville. I'm going to retape it, bring an all-new course on it. And if you already have my AXE course, my Control Without Ownership course, it's only $100 for you to come on down here and get in on that whole 2 days, and I'll give you the new course as well, and no extra charge. If you don't have it, then it's $9.97, and you get the AXE course and the 2-day event. So take us up on this. It's a one-time. I'm not doing it again. That's the cheapest and easiest training I can give you on the fastest way to make money in real estate there is. And before I get off that subject, Deborah, guys, I got a major announcement coming up for you. A major announcement. You're going to be getting an email on it shortly, so make sure you open these emails. And this one is going to tell you about that 2-day AXE event. But it's also going to tell you that we are about to release our Gold Club affiliate program. We're changing it to where now, when you bring us Gold Club members, by simply sending people to your free link, we're going to pay you $25 per month for every month that they remain as members forever. So you open that email when it comes to you, because we are about to offer to you, at no cost to you, a way to make several $1,000s a month without spending any money. And I'm going to spend all day on April the 13th to train you exactly how to do that, sitting at home from your computer. So if you could use an extra $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month by simply driving people to your free link, then just know that on April 13th I'm going to teach you that, and it's going to be here in Jacksonville, and it's right ahead of the 2-day AXE event. So we're going to knock them all out in 3 days. I'll be bringing my internet geek in there, and him and I together will teach you how to go build a business around that. And you don't have to sell anything. There's no back end for you. There's no fulfillment. There's none of that stuff. And anyway, more on that. Just watch your email and open it when it comes to you, and it'll explain it better. Just want to let you know that you're the very first people that I've told about it. So now, what was the question? I forgot. What are we here for? She asked me, she wants a business plan.
Yes.
It's not about a business plan. It's not about a business plan. It's about getting out there and getting people to call you with a house for sale and following up and getting an agreement when they say they like what you are offering them, which is probably an axe deal or something very close to it. So first you got to learn what that means. If you're at that point, then you just got to get some prospects coming in, and all the business plans in the world is not going to change that. It's easy to write business plans. I love spreadsheets, but until somebody actually commits them to action and takes the steps necessary, they're a worthless waste of paper.
Okay, great. Also, Ron, just a note, we are including the registration and all of the information about the April 13th, 14th, and 15th event. Will be included in their Mentor magazine that they'll be receiving very shortly.
Oh,
so
that's
they
right.
can actually find that in there also.
Guys, watch your mail. The Mentor is coming, and Deborah did a great job on it. I've read it. It's a good-looking piece.
Next up from Quentin Freeman. Hey, Ron, I know it's good to start off in your hometown, but what tips can you give to handle deals? Example, subject to, sleaze options, wholesales that are out of state. We are looking to expand as much as we can after we purchase and implement your Pretty House cash flow systems and ACTS program.
How could I possibly answer that question? I mean, it takes a 4-day boot camp to answer that question because the tips are huge. I mean, look, it all comes down to this. You generate FSBO leads by getting your VAs to fill out your property information sheets. Now, it's from the answers on those sheets that determines where you go from there. For example, if the house is free and clear, somebody needs to ask them if they'll own or finance. If the answer is no, then will you lease purchase? Those questions are right on the FSBO worksheet that's on your Gold Club site. So go get those, and the questions are there so nobody can forget to ask them. I just recently incorporated them for that reason. Now, by the way, if both of those answers are no, the deal is dead. There's nothing you can do with it. If it's got a mortgage on it, same question. I want to know, would you consider a lease purchase? If the answer is no, there's nothing to do with it. If the answer is yes, then I can do a lease purchase, sandwich lease it, or do an ACTS deal on it. Or if the loan balance is close to the asking price, will you sell the house for what you owe on it? I might want to take it subject to. So you have to be able to take a look at the answers, figure out where to go from there based on their response. And many of them will be in nowhere. They'll be in the trash. They won't sell it with owner finance. They won't lease purchase. They won't sell it for what they owe. Get out. What are you going to do with it? There's nothing. So it's all about pre-screening. So this is not a business where I decide, what do I want to do? Do I want to do ACTS? Do I want to do lease purchase? What you do is you attract people to call you with houses for sale, and they will decide for you where to go from there. And I'm sure that didn't answer your question, but it's the best I can do in this short time frame. I'll see you in the Quick Start program where you learn how to do this stuff step by step.
Okay. All right, Ron, our last question is from Richard Hewitt.
Richard Hewitt. And where's Richard from?
Richard did not
tell us where he is from. And neither did any other questions I heard today.
Okay, in the ACTS deal, are we simply assigning our deal, the lease option, to the buyer for a non-refundable deposit? Also, is the non-refundable deposit applied toward anything other than our bank account?
It depends. If it's an assignment fee, it does not apply toward their purchase price. However, in some cases, you're going to have to set it up so that it's called a non-refundable option deposit so they can get credit for it if they're going to go get a loan. And I can't take a lot of time to explain that, but honestly, I think I did on a previous example or one coming up, because there are times when we lease it from the seller and then we release it to the buyer and assign our lease from the buyer back to the seller instead of the other way around. And I'm sure that didn't make any sense to you, but that's a process that we've learned to do. We've done several of those ourselves because the buyer wants credit for the down payment. it's going to take more time than I've got here to explain it. So maybe you might want to make a note, and that might be a lesson all of itself right there.
Isn't that one of the updates also that you've just included?
Yes, that is. We're certainly going to be discussing that in the ACTS event on April 14th and 15th because it is part of the new program, something we learned along the way. And there's all kinds of updates that we're doing in there as well. By the way, I'm going to have Scott there, my guy, and then the Ionnottis are going to be in the room as well, the inventors of the ACTS. So it's going to be an incredible weekend. Plus we got Elsa there, which is the VA's VA, and she's also going to be at the affiliate training because when you get trained on how to drive traffic to your link, now we got to get the VAs to do all the work for you because we know you're not going to do it. It's all part of the program. The less I do, the more I make, some smart guy told me.
Also, Richard, I believe, can get a better explanation of that answer, Ron, a more in-depth answer in your article that's in the Mentor.
Oh, yeah.
Your cover article.
Yeah, cover article. I mean, the article in the Mentor is all about your question, Richard.
Yes,
so look
it
out
sure
for that.
is.
And by the way, guys, our second Monday of the month Q&A call is really growing fast. So go ahead and put it in your planner for the rest of the year. Second Monday of the month, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can join me for an hour and a lot of other members, and we'll go over your FISBOs and we'll answer your questions and answers. So just set it in your planner and move everything else around it. That's the way, that's the only way you can be there. And then we'll get you, we'll email you the phone number and the code and remind you every single month as we get closer to it. So.
Yes, and I've put it on my calendar also for the Friday before in the weekly, Ron, to add it in there also to remind everybody.
All right.
Okay.
Hey guys, Debbie's doing a great job on these weeklies. They're really, really getting good, and you're going to see she's doing a great job on the monthlies. It wouldn't hurt my feelings if you were to actually tell her that. And by the way, get your testimonial videos in here. Come on, we're having a contest, and we want them. Plus, get your input in here. Hey, we welcome articles from you. Tell us what you've learned. Tell us about great websites that you found. Tell us big boo-boos that you made. We love it when people sacrifice themselves for the benefit of others. And when all else fails, you can always serve as a warning to others. Come on, cooperate with us. We'll give back to you, and we'll make you a legend. Send us a testimonial and we'll make you famous, right, Deborah?
Sounds great.
Absolutely.
And also, Ron, I cannot take all the credit for the Mentor. Christy and Nick have worked so hard, and they'd love to hear from you also, guys, on the Gold Club Forum. They'd
Got
love
a whole
to hear.
staff of people here working for you.
Yes.
And I would imagine the only information on the ACTS, the Control Without Ownership, and the affiliate training is going to be in your monthly newsletter that's mailed to you as well. So keep an open line. We'll keep feeding you. See you next week.